Hello, my loves. Excuse me. I'm Ellie Frost, and this video is about why going no contact with a narcissist is not enough, right? So let me explain this and tell you what you can do, because there's lots of information online about when you're dealing with a narcissist, and if you know what that is, it's a psychic, spiritual, emotional manipulator, sometimes a physical attacker that has you in a trap, that you are enmeshed with, that you are not having a healthy relationship with, that usually has put you into some kind of compromise financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, where you are enmeshed with them and you need to break free. And so a lot of people will tell you the first thing to do is to go no contact. Now, that is a very good idea. That's not possible for everyone. Some people are married to narcissists. Some people are in family situations they can't just break free from initially. But you have to understand this is a spiritual attack. It's a psychic attack, right? So just going no contact doesn't mean they're going to stop infiltrating your energy field. So definitely, if you can, go no contact, but you've got to shut down the psychic ties, right? That means your thought energy. That means your emotional energy. That means you cannot dwell in the what if. You have to see it for what it is. If you have researched and know anything about narcissism, real narcissism, right? I'm not even going to explain what that is and what it isn't on this video. If you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. If you do, then that's why you're here. They are energy vampires to an extreme degree. They are feeding off your life force energy, which means that just blocking them but thinking about them all the time is still fueling the tank. You have to stop the thought energy. If you know about narcissism, you will know that these, I don't even want to, their entities show up in very predictable ways. Their behavior is textbook. You know, there are stages people talk about, which are so true. You know, the love bombing stage, the hoovering stage, the devaluing, the discard stage. It's so predictable. I'll tell you why spiritually, because there is an entity working through these people. So they kind of are demonic, right? So what happens is they've had a very weak energetic field, often caused by trauma, but they've kind of their soul is detracted from the human, like they've vacated. And this consciousness, this entity, which we're calling the narcissist, is acting through them, which is why their behavior is so textbook and so predictable. It's not a game. It is something to completely let go of in your energy field. It will destroy you as much as it can. It can only live by feeding off your life force energy. So do not make the mistake of thinking you can change this person. You can somehow get back to the love bombing stage. You're in an addictive pattern, in an addictive cycle. It's not healthy love. It's not supportive love. It's not good for you, and it's not good for anyone to be in these highs and lows. And over time, it just derodes you. Over and over and over again, you get weaker and weaker and weaker. You cannot sustain it. You will have to give up your essence, your sparkle, your life energy, your life force energy to even exist in it. The only way you can exist in these dynamics is to diminish yourself. You have to devalue and diminish yourself to even take part in it. So when you make the choice to break away, understand it's an addiction. So you're going to have withdrawal symptoms. That fantasy, that illusion they sold you is going to creep into your mind. It's going to play on your past trauma. It's going to make you want them to be some kind of savior and rescuer, or relive the projection they put on you of who they were, which is never who they were, right? They are expert magicians. It's a spiritual war. They are projecting an illusion and you buy into that illusion. They are the savior. They are everything you wanted them to be, but they can't sustain that image. And that's why we go into massive cognitive dissonance and trauma, because We're trying to reconcile the person we thought they were with what's being presented and showing up. See it for what it is. Trust your intuition and your gut, and understand that you have to shut it down psychically, not just physically. Some people will move miles away and still be tormented and still be going round in cycles and ruminating and obsessing about the narcissist. So it's a spiritual attack. It's going to play on your emotions, and it's going to try and get into your brain. You have complete power to shut it down. You do that by not seeing it for what it is, not letting it in. Don't ruminate, don't think what if, don't go back into the haze and the fog and the cycle of, what if, or that if you get hooked back in, there's this thing where it's almost like you're being programmed, right? You're kind of walking the walk, you're kind of playing a role, but it's not really you. You do not exist in a narcissistic relationship. You are everything they need you to be. You're a puppet. You're not you. You're not in your authentic power. You're not in your truth. Your wants and needs are irrelevant. You are being molded and shaped to what they need you to be so they can siphon your life force energy. It is demonic in terms of a consciousness that is a detractive consciousness that needs to feed off you because it can't self-regulate. You have to pull the plug. So if you can gain no contact, that's a brilliant thing to do, but you have to shut down the psychic attack. And that means, like, you can feel when they're putting on your energy. You can feel when sometimes you're having thoughts about them, or they're coming into your mind and you don't really feel that way, right? They're trying to project those emotions onto you. Shut it down. You have the strength within you to shut it down. You have the strength to not consent and to push it away. Don't get brainwashed. Don't get sucked into it. Don't start thinking, oh, maybe I am in love with this person, because they will come on very strong in the energetic realm and they'll project emotions onto you. And as empaths, we'll absorb them. You know the truth. You know this person isn't for you. You know it's not a life-giving experience. You know you're not able to fully express joy and happiness and fulfillment if you're in a narcissistic dynamic. Now, this is not just for anyone who's in a relationship. This is about a specific type of relationship. But in those relationships, they will steal your joy. Nothing will be good for too long. There'll always be an undercurrent. You'll always be walking on eggshells on some level. There'll always be pulling the rug from under you at some point. You'll never just be able to experience true happiness, support, love, validation, acceptance and growth and joy. You won't hit your potential in that relationship because they don't want you to succeed. They have to keep you down, slowly over time, eroding your self-esteem, eroding your resources so that you stay in the trap with them so they can literally feed off you. It's a psychic attack, it's a spiritual attack, and you have to shut it down. Beyond just, yes, physically get away. They also live in the shadows and they live on your fears. So the fear of what they'll do next, the fear of the smear campaign, the fear that they might come after you, the fear of the implications of maybe you'll not meet anyone, or maybe it's your fault, or maybe you're just destined to be around these kind of people. Not at all. You have to just completely put that fear aside, not be governed by it. You have to be willing to face whatever you were not strong enough to own in your own sovereignty, i.e. be responsible for your own survival, security, validation, approval, support, not need it from someone else. It's asking you to break codependency. And it's a harsh reality, but at the same time, you're feeding a demon if you let your energy be exploited in that way. And they are demonic, they are vindictive, they are malicious, they have no, like, the soul's detracted. Trying to appeal to them on an emotional level, they'll just play the game. And inside you'll know that you're doing that. Inside you'll know that it's not real. Inside it will start giving you anxiety. You will know inside, right? But it's going on beyond what's happening in the physical realm. And that's why it's so compelling and so confusing to people. So you've got to shut it down psychically. You will feel when their energy is coming your way. You must say no. Zero consent, zero availability, zero siphoning of life force. So I hope that's helpful, guys. Any more questions? Anything else you want on this, let me know, because I know it's such a big topic and I feel like it's becoming a little bit more chronic on the planet right now as people are seeing this and also needing tools to, I don't know what's going on and stand in our power more, right? So lots of love, and I'll speak to you soon.